Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the podcast. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Those of you tuning in, this is the U8 Finna Give It to Me, like that podcast. And today we have an interesting topic. Topic is Temu, real or fake? A look at the safety and legality of the new online marketplace. With me here today, I have as well my two co hosts. I have with me Erica and Maurice. What's going on, both of you guys?
What's going on? What's going on? Hi, everybody. Appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Hey everybody.
All right. So, Temu, it's the hottest, the latest marketplace available right now, trending on all social media networks. And for a lot of people that haven't had the experience with Temu of shopping and whatnot, they have questions. They have questions on who exactly is Temu? Where did they come from? Who are they? Is it safe to use? Is the quality of the product going to be as advertised, or am I gonna get some boo boo the fool? That's definitely the question that a lot of people really have. A lot of us, when we shop with our hearts, and we shop with trust involved. So when you shop at a retailer or you shop at, a marketplace, it's trusted. You shop at Walmart, you shop at Amazon, Best Buy, Target, whoever. You shop there because you trust, one, you know what you're gonna get there. The product is as advertised, and you know that they have a good support. In case products aren't up to par as advertised. There's return policies. There's, a support team that's going to help you in case things aren't necessarily as intended. And so, people have questions about Timu. Before I get into some of the facts about who Timu is and what Timu is, you guys, my question I pose to you is, how did you guys first hear of Timu?
I first heard about it when I was just on YouTube browsing. There was a lot of people that had purchased a lot of Temu items and they do unboxings. And
Hmm.
so on their channel, they'll actually purchase like sometime a few hundred to $1,000 worth of products just so that they can unbox it, live or on a video just to see what the products are looking like. And so that's how I came across Temu, among other platforms, but that's definitely how I came across this particular one.
Um, for me, I had heard my son talking about it to his mom, and you know what I'm saying, I really didn't think nothing of it. Then I'm browsing through Facebook, Instagram, and then I keep seeing things for Timu this, Timu that, Timu this, Timu that. And at first, I thought it was like another social media platform, which it kind of is, and we'll get into that later. But um, it turns out to be an online marketplace with all this stuff for selling. As I'm on my Instagram feed one day, and it's got a lot of little interesting things and things that I'm interested in. So I ended up clicking it, download the app, and I'm browsing the app, and I'm like, yo, this is like Amazon but way cheaper. So I started browsing through it, and I was kind of surprised, and that's kind of my introduction to Temu.
Yeah. For me, definitely social media was how I became aware of Timu. Starting off with TikTok. TikTok, people always have those, items that they're looking to show off, and they definitely, like Erica says, they do their unboxings, or even they're just showing off product and saying, "Hey, you want this product? It does this, and then here's where you go get it." And so off of TikTok, I didn't necessarily pay any attention to it. I thought it was just, like Alibaba, AliExpress, just kind of another place to get, Chinese knockoff products. But then I did start seeing it on YouTube, and then of course word of mouth. People, close to me started saying, "Hey, I got this and that from Timu, and I think you should really check it out, and get some things off of there, and you won't be disappointed." And so the word of mouth really kind of helped sell me on it. Still haven't, purchased anything that I felt like was something I wanted, something that was useful, but it definitely like helped ease me when someone else says, "Hey, I've been purchasing things from Temu since months ago, weeks ago. I'm always buying stuff from Temu," and it's the response is for the most part, whether it's online via social media or word of mouth, is the products are actually good. The products are as advertised. So yeah, let's definitely get into what Timu is, who they are, and then um, kind of give some backstory about Timu and kind of where they came from and uh, how they got their start here. So let me give you guys a backstory here. So Timu is an online marketplace operated by the Chinese e-commerce company PDD Holdings Inc. PDD Holdings is Pinduoduo, another Chinese marketplace. So they're the original, owners and operators of Timu. And Timu's also headquartered in Boston, here in the States. Timu offers heavily discounted goods, which are mostly shipped to consumers directly from China. Timu was launched in the United States here in September of last year, 2022, and quickly became one of the most popular shopping apps in the country. It is known for its extremely low prices on a wide range of products, including clothing, electronics, home goods, and much more. Timu's business model is similar to that of its parent company, Pinduoduo, and their model is uh, known for Pinduoduo is known for its group buying features, which allows users to get lower prices on products by shopping together with friends and family. Timu doesn't have this feature yet, but it does offer a variety of other discounts and promotions, such as free shipping and gifts and things like that on orders over a certain amount, and of course, coupons. Ever since I signed up for Timu, every time they email me, at least twice a week, coupon for this, coupon for that, and that's how they kind of draw in those new users. Uh, Timu has been praised in all the blogs and review sites for its low pricing and a wide selection of products, but there has been some criticisms. Some of the criticisms that come up are the shipping times are kind of slow. Also, their customer service isn't as high quality when it comes to either lost products or damaged products that were damaged along shipping. And of course, there have been some reports of counterfeit products as well. Overall, Temu is a legitimate online marketplace that offers those wide range of products at very, very low pricing. Shoppers should be aware of the potential downsides, like we discussed about the shipping and the customer service. But I think the deals overall look it's going to advertise, to the everyday person, everyday shopper, and they won't be disappointed. What are some of the concerns you guys have? I know Maurice, you've had experience with shopping with Timu, but before purchasing items at Timu, and then of course Erica, what are some of the concerns you guys may have had or still have with purchasing things from Timu? What are some of the things that kind of caused you to hesitate either in the past or still make cause you to hesitate?
I know for me personally, yeah, I've actually purchased some things off of there. For me, my whole thing was it legit? And I had like I said, I heard my son and his mother talking about it, and they had purchased some things off of it. And then I'm seeing all this stuff online, so I'm thinking to myself, man, to me, at first it seemed kind of too good to be true with some of the prices of the things that they were offering. I'm like, nah, this can't be right. So I was a little apprehensive at first about jumping into it, and I definitely did a little bit of research and made sure that everything was legit before I actually purchased anything or put my card information in there to purchase anything. So once I got over that hump, so far everything has been good. But that yeah, at first I was definitely apprehensive about doing it because I did see it was heavily on the Chinese side, and I was definitely afraid of maybe my data being stolen or my card information being stolen at first.
Yeah, those are valid things. Erica, any concerns about shopping with Tumu that you may have had or still have?
I actually haven't actually tried shopping there yet, but it's definitely something I want to definitely look into. I've gone through the website and there's just a lot of things online that I saw that I may have been looking for on other platforms like Amazon, Walmart, that sort of thing. And it just seems like the Temu products are like leagues cheaper than what you would actually get on Amazon and other places. And so that definitely draws me in. But of course, I'm just hopeful that it's not like knockoff junk. Although I think that what's on Amazon is typically made from China, which is where I think Temu gets their products. And so it's just pretty much like no name stamped on it. So I think that's the difference. A lot of the time when we make purchases, we tend to purchase name brands. We're not really purchasing the product itself. And so I think that once you remove the name brand off of a product, like it seems like Timu has done, I think then they can actually sell it to us at a price that it should be at versus what, other corporations may think they want to value their name or, that sort of thing. So I'm interested in shopping from there. I'm excited. And I'm doing my research before I make a purchase, but I definitely think I'm going to make a purchase soon.
Gotcha. Yeah, I definitely feel the same. I've definitely been looking at Temu to purchase some things. I haven't really found anything like really sticks out for me. It's a lot of things that um, look appealing and look like could be useful, but it's nothing that I'm like, okay, I need that. I need to go ahead and put that in my cart and go ahead and get that card through and make that purchase. I haven't really came across anything yet, but it's very vast. So uh, really, I have to take some time to kind of comb through it as much as possible to see, what is out there that I may be interested in, and then of course, make the move and make that purchase. Uh,
It's kind of like it's kind of like Wish.com, but it's a more legit version, I think, of Wish.com because Wish.com, they be playing. We all know we have purchased clothing from there if, you're brave and all of that. And we all know that the prices and they're really cheap, but it's like the sizing. You could think that you're getting a 2XL, which is something that you wear, but when you get it, you can actually fit it on a Barbie doll. We've all been through this. So I don't really trust Wish.com when it comes to a lot of different things. But I just think that Timu is kind of like the same type of pricing, but I think the products may be more legit.
Now I'm
gotcha.
said that because that was another thing that I had to consider before I actually purchased something from there because I was also afraid it was gonna be like a wish.com type thing. And I'll be transparent. I never purchased anything from wish.com, but the thing is I haven't really heard anything good about it. So I did not want to even deal with it. But fortunately with Timu, it was the complete opposite. I heard nothing but good things about it. So it made me a little better at ease to say, all right, let me go ahead and purchase something from this thing. And as far as things like that, like clothes and things of that nature, I definitely try to stay away from purchasing that type of stuff from vendors that I'm not that I'm not familiar with because I know the feeling. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I definitely don't want that to happen anymore at all. So I try to stay away from clothes unless it's from places that I actually know for sure I'm going to get what I pay for. But with Temu, I'll go into kind of like my idea when I was purchasing. Um, it just like Melvin said, it's very vast. It is very large online marketplace, kind of like Amazon. So honestly, I mean, if you're a new customer, somebody who's going to be on there, hey, I say, go on there and browse, take a look at a lot of things because they give out actually, they give out deals for your first purchase. So your first purchase won't be that expensive, even if you buy tons of items, which is crazy. Because I know for me, I think I bought like 12 or 13 items and surprisingly, I only spent like $40. I'm not joking.
Mm,
I bought I bought a bunch of low risk items, and what I mean by that is if it was anything like a wish, like I had heard, or if there were any issues, these items were insignificant things that it wouldn't even matter, or I wouldn't even miss the $40 that I spent. So I bought like a manicure set, phone case, some phone cords, little things, little knickknack things of that nature. Um, And surprisingly, everything that I bought was legit and was what it said it was, except one thing, but that wasn't on them. That was actually on me because I was kind of not reading the description of what the item actually was, and I actually purchased something that I didn't want to. But that's my fault. I'm not gonna blame them for that at all, because I wasn't paying attention myself. But
gotcha.
it was uh it was a very easy experience. The shipping did take a little longer versus someone like Amazon where you can literally get your stuff the same day or the next day, depending on how close you are to a fulfillment center. Um, so I did have to wait. I want to say probably like a week and a half, maybe. So like 7 to 10 days before I got my package. Which I mean, still is not that bad coming from China. At least I waited a lot longer for things coming from China, but Um, I have no, I have nothing negative to say about the experience that I've personally had so far, and the people that I've talked to, the people that have actually purchased things. I haven't heard anything negative from them either. So, Timu might be the next big thing. So I can see
Mm,
why Amazon or Walmart will have issues with them, which I'm sure we'll get into here in a little bit. But that's just my
yeah,
on that part.
yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate that intake. I'm sorry, go
I've
ahead.
actually purchased from Wish numerous times. Uh, I have purchased earrings. I have purchased other types of like costume because I tend to stay in a costume jewelry realm. I don't really get expensive stuff. I tend to like to do costume because it's cost effective and it can kind of go with multiple outfits. You can have like many different looks or whatever. And so they actually do have decent things there. I also purchased a journal from there. And the journal actually looked like, you guys know how you go to church, they have like the Bible, and it's like kind of a more old school Bible. And it's like really, it's like kind of like not that big, but it's like real thick or whatever. That was what they sent me, and it was pretty much like clear pages, and the pages actually felt almost like a Bible. So it's like I thought that was fascinating, but I actually still have it, and I actually really like it. I use it sparingly, but I really like it. I think it has like 3,000 pages in it. It's really nice, and it was only like $6. I haven't had any issues with Wish except for one item that never showed up, and then I purchased a shirt from there, and it was a little bit smaller than I needed. But I purchased other shirts from there, and it was perfectly fine. And I still actually have them today. So Wish.com, you just got to be careful if you're going to use that particular service. Just make sure that you're reading the comments, because the comments will tell you everything that you need to know, and make sure that you're reading comments that look legit. usually from the United States, Canada, maybe Britain, and try and stay away from the foreign ones because the foreign ones I think can be Wish.com vendors actually, lying to hype the product up. But once you start getting to, other countries, they've actually spent their money on it. So they're going to tell you the real.
Mm,
And also look for pictures because a lot of people, especially if it comes to clothing, they'll put on a shirt and let you know how it fit. They'll take pictures and whatnot. Those are the legit reviews. So, yeah, I think Wish is good, but if Temu was even better than that, then I shouldn't have any issues at all with that service.
interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I definitely have heard a lot of negative reviews from Wish, and it's kind of steered me away from Wish.com, just because you just may not get what you think you're gonna get. So, yeah, I definitely heard some mixed reviews, and but I hear more positives about Timu than I did with Wish, which is interesting. It's very interesting. Uh, so we'll go into like what's their objective? Why is like Timu deciding to you know start here in America? Why are they bringing Chinese products here in America? I think Timu's main objective is empowering consumers with affordable quality merchandise. A lot of times, especially at this time where we're kind of going through a financial crisis, we just got out of COVID and had to deal with the economy falling to pieces after that. So it's like we're still kind of trying to manage in this up and down economy here. So Timu kind of is almost like for some people a light at the end of the tunnel because now they can actually stretch their money, the money that they do have that they may not have a lot of. They can get some things from Timu and not feel bad about making a purchase and getting a lot of things, especially if the quality is as advertised. 'Cause that's the biggest deal. It's if the quality isn't as advertised, then of course why not spend money on the name brand thing. But if the quality is as advertised, then that's an opportunity to kind of make your money stretch. And I think that's Timu's main objective is just to kind of empower the shopper, letting hey, this is for you. This deal is for you, and you can get quality, merchandise at a cheap price, and have plenty of access to it. And I think that's a good objective for a business to have. Uh, Temu achieves this goal by working directly with the manufacturers and suppliers. So they're the middleman between us and the manufacturer. They do the negotiation to get the best pricing for the products. They use strategies to keep costs low, to use data analytics to optimize their supply chain, and offering plenty of discounts and coupons and promotions to customers to keep us coming back. Those of you who've already signed up, you know what those emails look like. So it's very enticing. Very enticing. I think also with the focus on affordability, Team was also like from just the reviews that I've watched and people that from word of mouth, Temu's focus is really high quality products, and that's a big deal at this time because especially when trying to get products from China, that's always like a huge question that people have is is the quality going to be exactly what I'm expecting it to be, and somehow Temu has managed to they probably have like an excellent quality control process to make sure that products meet a certain level of standards before they put them out on the marketplace. Just because they already offer like a satisfaction guarantee. So if you're not happy with a product, I did see that that was an option. And so that allows you to shop with confidence. So okay, look, if this isn't as advertised, if it's malfunctioned, then I should be taken care of as a customer because I'm not buying the product for it to be damaged or not work as intended and buying the product to, perform as advertised. And so I think they have to have a great quality control, center to be able to kind of vet things because, you see something that's for $1 or $2 or $5 and, you go to Amazon, for example, one of their competitors, and the same item is $20, $50, maybe $100, depending on the product. And so you're expecting the higher quality item to cost more, but somehow Temu has managed to secure high quality items still, even though their prices are very, very low. I think also added to some of the ways they're helping empower people is, um, again, the quality merchandise, having a broad selection of products. So not only are you getting quality, but now you can shop and they cover things from fashion to home goods, electronics, things like that. So that means as a consumer, I now have not just the power in my dollar, but I have more choice, which means it's easier for me to find what I'm looking for if I'm looking for something specific. And it's also very easy for me to be interested in things that maybe I wasn't looking for. Maybe I didn't know I needed, etc. kitchen gadget that
Yep.
might make my life a little bit easier.
Yep.
Now that's an option.
Yep.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you. Yep, that's exactly what it was like. Yeah, just like that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think also like just making it easier to shop online. I mean, we still live in a day and age where there are people who are afraid to purchase things online. They're afraid to put their credit card out there and say, "Hey, I don't want to get scammed by some Chinese hacker." Like, and so people that are already afraid of online shopping, they definitely aren't going to be signing up for Temu if there are questions about, the shopping process and how safe it can be. And I think Temu makes it very easy and also safe and user friendly with the mobile apps, with their websites. And I think that's something that customers can not only trust, but they can now shop without having to worry, is this safe? And I think that's a big, big deal when you're trying to present a marketplace is the safety of it. I remember when like shopping on Amazon, like because Amazon used to be just a bookstore. And when they opened up the floodgates and started adding all this extra produce, the question I always ask myself is, wait a minute, is this safe to buy, X, Y, and Z from Amazon? And over time, Amazon has, made the shopping process easier. If you have a problem with some of the products, they have a great customer support system. And I think Timu now has a lane that's the same lane as Amazon, and now they have someone to look at and follow and make improvements on. What do you guys thoughts about Teamly's strategy? Do you think this is a good strategy as a new shopping platform? Do you think that uh, this is the right direction they should be focused in by making products more affordable, having a diversified amount of products, and then of course making transactions safe and ease of use of their app and their websites? What do you guys think about that?
Um, yeah. As like I was earlier, I was definitely agreeing with you. I want to add a little bit on. To be honest, I really think they excel with their marketplace because they kind of cut out the middleman. Um, you think about it, like this stuff is coming direct from China, right? Temu is a Chinese-based marketplace. Now, with that being said, most of the times as American consumers, when we purchase these things, we're, what I'm saying, most of us understand that these things are coming from overseas, China, India, or Taiwan, or whatever. And the thing is, we're purchasing it from American companies, and then they go or they have, overstock of it where they got it from overseas. So instead of going through an American company who's going to put their X amount of dollars on it to get their money back and make a profit off of the items, you can get it directly from Temu, whereas it's coming directly from them. So they can cut out the middleman and also keep the prices low because they don't have to worry, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to worry about the extra person or two in between
Right.
uh dealing touching the product.
Right. All those extra fees that come with someone being the service, provider for getting the product to you, and then delivery fees, and it's like you're right. It's like they cut out the middleman. Like they're like direct to consumer at this point, which is an
Yeah,
excellent
yeah,
strategy.
yeah.
What are your thoughts, Erica?
I think it's excellent strategy and marketing. Basically, everything that we have in our stores that we purchase outside of these sort of websites, it's coming from them. They're the ones who's providing us with most. It's very rare to have a company that is actually within the United States that's selling to the United States. More times than not, you will, if you turn your products over, it'll say it came from Taiwan or it came from China. Basically, those are usually the two, you know, mass like people that they get their items from. And so I think that Amazon, Walmart, Target, and other companies like that are going to have issues with it because they're pretty much selling us directly for pretty much like pennies what they're selling us in their stores basically, and trying to like overcharge and inflate the price on. So I really think that that's the case, but I also think that China is tired. First of all, I think they're tired of the United States, period, when it comes to the government. Second of all, I think that they are tired of the American people, specifically the United States, getting angry at them for the pricing. We get angry at China for the pricing. We don't get angry at, the corporations in the United States. We think that these pricing,
Right.
situations is coming from China, and China is almost like, well, you know what? We're going to fix that. We're going to start selling to you directly, and we're going to tell you what our prices are versus what they're charging you. In a way, it's
Mm,
almost like blowing the top off of the inflation that's going on in the country for those people who
facts.
aren't paying attention. They're just kind of
Facts.
like, look, this is what it really costs. Like, I want a UV light for my nails. The one I want is $60 on Amazon right now. I actually could get the exact same one from Temu for $7. They're saying, hey, I could give you this for what it's really worth. I could give you this, basically it didn't take much, in regards to like how much it cost for the parts to put it together. We didn't actually have to pay that much to get this put together. And then let me show you in, congruence to what they're charging you in the States, basically. And then you ask yourself where that money's going. Like it's almost like they're trying to like indirectly tell us that we're being fucked, basically.
Oh, that was good. That was beautiful. No lie. That was bars right there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a huge markup. You wouldn't think that percentage wise, but that's a huge markup. Something that costs $7 to make and manufacture, and they charge you 60 for it. Wow, like that's a huge markup.
And the thing is, here's the thing: China probably sold us that for a little bit more than they make, because you got to make profit, so you have to upcharge something, or otherwise you'll be breaking even when you make products. So $7 is probably what they actually marked it up to. So it's like when you think about it from that angle, they're making their money. It's like, but then when you look at the United States, it's like, well, shit, we're greedy over here when it comes to corporations. We are fucking greedy. Like, why would it cost? Why is it such a big difference? It's like $53. That's a $53 difference. It's like, where's that money going? So it's almost like, let's say I make a product. I make a product that only costs, let's say, about $3 or $4 to actually make completely per item. And I decide to sell it for $150. Like, what?
Wow.
It's robbery. It's robbery. And it's also a huge reason as to why we're in such dire straits in the country now. Everything is marked up. If they could sell us grocery food, I'm almost certain they would actually do that. If they could figure out how to sell us groceries, that they'll be like, look at how much, like, because our inflation goes up a little at a time, a little at a time. It's like something that once used to be about $4 might go up to, 4.75. Nobody pays attention. From 4.75, once you get used to that, it goes up to like $5. You're not paying attention to that. So it's slowly rising and it's getting you kind of primed to, pay the higher prices. If China could actually really blow the top off of that, I think they would. But I do believe that even though they're having a lot of issues with the government and we owe them a lot of money, I think that when it comes to the American people, they're kind of separating that. Like, let me try and, open their eyes to what's going on, so maybe now they can fight back. You know?
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, and don't give them ideas on adding a grocery department because
I would
that
be the
that would
first one to
definitely
try it out. I would try. I'm willing to try anything out. If it saves a little bit of money, I think so because I think it's ridiculous that you go and get a few items, maybe like 5 or 6 items from Kroger or something like that, and that shit's talking about 50 something dollars. It's like I think it's getting crazy. Like there's nothing that's $5 in combination in a grocery store that should be $50. So it's like I just think it's getting nuts. Inflation is really on our ass, and it's not just inflation with buying products from retail. It's food, it's rent, it's gas, it's everything is inflated. Everything is inflated but your paycheck.
right,
And
right.
it's ridiculous. And I think that China in particular, because they've actually loaned us so much money, I think they're starting to kind of look at it for what it is. The fact that, first of all, they probably will never get their money back. And second of all, uh, the people are suffering. And when people suffer, they tend to relocate. I would love to get an idea as to how many Americans from the United States specifically have actually relocated to China.
Mm,
Because it's
I
like that could also be a thing too. Like, hey, why are there so
yeah,
many Americans coming here suddenly? And it's like you take a look at it, and it's like it's the inflation. And so they're like, well, let's get some solutions in place. TikTok is another one. I don't know if you've looked into the TikTok marketplace, but that's very interesting, the pricing.
really.
It's Yeah, it's like you you gotta wonder why they're suddenly starting to try to get us products for so cheap. You
I'm
have to
glad you.
really take a look at it.
I'm glad you brought up TikTok because that was something else Maurice brought up. I think kind of mirroring Pinduoduo a little bit. I think they're kind of trying to use social media, to kind of like somewhat build a social network around their marketplace. It's like they want their almost like their group shopping feature. Now, I don't think they're explicitly like saying that that's what they're trying to do, but I think like if I purchase something off of Temu, I have the ability to share that across all of my social media platforms to let others know, hey, uh, this product, I like it, I bought it, it works, it's amazing, and it's only this price, and so of course Timu does reward you for that. They give you credits and also better deals by recommending products or even recommending the app. Like that's something built into their whole ecosystem. And I think the biggest thing with Timu as far as the social media features that they do offer that kind of makes me think that they're kind of heading in that direction in the future. Of course, we talk about the social sharing. Of course, we talk about the referral program, but also Timu has reviews. And like you were saying, Erica, I think the reviews is the biggest thing. When you shop on Amazon, what do most of us do? Especially if it's a product we've never had before, we've never ordered before, we're heading to those reviews to go look and see what do the people say. Of course, you got to read through the people who may have had that one-off bad product, and you got to read through the people who got paid to type up a review and look professional, and you could tell the difference between those versus somebody who spent their hard-earned money and said, "Hey, I really liked this product. It did exactly what I needed it to do. Or, hey, my family really did not like this product. And I think because Timu has that review system, it now is, I think, another point for those who may be kind of cautious and kind of hesitant on shopping with Timu. It kind of eases them into like some sort of security to let them know, look, hey, real everyday people purchase these products. Real everyday people have left reviews on these products, and you can kind of trust the platform a little bit more. You guys thoughts about that?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think that if people utilize the review section more, they will be able to understand their products. But yeah, review systems definitely work when it comes to letting you know pretty much what the product is. But when it comes to TikTok, so China actually in the past, they have actually attempted to do this before, and they were blocked by the government. And so I think that they have actually taken a few years to regroup, and they're trying it again. Because remember, not too long ago, they were trying to actually get TikTok removed
Yeah,
from the states, and so it's like they're trying to regroup. It's like it's almost like China's just like, okay, well, we're trying to pull everything together, and the states in particular is fighting back because they don't want their people to be privy to other things that could actually make them look bad.
right.
And so let's go back and regroup and let's try this again. So I think that this is China's sneaky way of trying to like slide back in, through the back door. Because
Mm,
they absolutely were trying to do this before. I've watched a few documentaries on YouTube about it. They were definitely trying to push some products. I forgot the name. It was a messaging system though. I think it was like ICQ. It started with ICQ or something like that. And
yeah,
then they created a Chinese version, and it's like the government felt like they were doing too much spying and all of this stuff. All of the stuff that the states do with us every day. Apparently they have a problem when it's China doing it. And so they decided to band together and get it removed. I think they were sued by Microsoft or something. It was like a big company that sued them. I think it was Microsoft. And so I think they're trying to slide right back in through TikTok and now through Temu, AliExpress, Alibaba, those type of sites, basically trying to like get to a point where they've captivated the American people so much so that if the government attempts to do it, the people will fight back this time. Because last time, not enough people was using the service, and so I don't think anybody really cared. But when they said, "Well, we need to get rid of TikTok," everybody was like, "Oh no, the hell you not!" I'm sitting here making money off of TikTok. My videos are making money. You're taking livelihoods. Like they've, pretty much clued the American people in. They pulled us in enough, and now they're just like, now that we got them straight on TikTok, now let's go and open Temu and start pushing products that way. Let's try and get AliExpress back on top because AliExpress is another one that's kind of like Temu. And their products
right,
are actually amazing. A lot of people buy their products for like drop shipping purposes. Their products are actually amazing, but not a lot of people was using it. So now that they're getting Temu up there, they're like, once we get them on top, now we're coming back for AliExpress to put them back up, a little bit. So, more people will be willing to go and shop. But I think China's trying to slick slide way to get their money from the states, the government, through the people.
gotcha, gotcha.
Like we're gonna
I
recoup our money one way or the other.
think,
Like you
gotcha,
bastards owe us, I don't know how many trillion. We're gonna get that money back some way.
gotcha. And you bring up valid points. I think, and I kind of want to pose the question, but I definitely want to give some facts as well. I think that there are a couple of reasons why our government has an issue with apps like Temu and platforms like Temu. I think it's always the same thing every single time. So, like, I've done a little bit of research on like what's the most recent, red flags that our government has with Temu. Number one that always comes up: national security concerns. Always, it doesn't fail. Temu,
Like the
because it
UFOs. Everything
Right,
is a security issue.
right. Temu is, of course, like we said, owned by PDD Holdings, which is Pinduoduo, which is a Chinese company, and it raises concerns about the security of the user data and the potential for Temu to be used for espionage or other malicious purposes. That's always like the number one thing every single time is, are they going to be using this data for, espionage? Are they going to be using this data to threaten, this country? And that's a legitimate concern for most people who haven't shopped with Timu but would love to. It's like Marie said, are you going to be using my card information to, like hack me or take, everything out of my savings?
Oh my
Like
God.
what's really
So
going on?
we're worried about that. We're worried about espionage from other countries, but we're not worried about the espionage going on in our own country because everybody who has a home system like the Echo, the Google Home system, that sort of thing, that those systems listen to you. They pick up what you're talking about without you even knowing it. How many times have I been sitting here talking on the phone and my Echo will suddenly turn on and I see it lit up blue and it's moving like it's recording my voice, and then once I stop talking or whatever, suddenly it goes off, it goes purple and then it cuts off.
You know,
You can also make purchases through the Echo. So it's like
mm,
if I ask the Echo to add something to my Amazon cart, it'll ask me, okay, this was added to your cart, would you like to check out? So it has access while it's listening to you, it has access to charge your card anytime you give the okay for it. So it's like at the end of the day, is that not the same thing?
I mean, you got a valid point because I'm not gonna say the name to trigger anybody's devices, but SIRI, and sometimes I may not even be asking for it or saying its name, but all of a sudden it just pops up and says, like trying to pick up on what I'm recording, doesn't ask hello, did you say something? It just all of a sudden starts recording my message, and I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't even ask for you. Like, hold on.
Right. It's done. Listen, it's done that one. T.S. Madison, her show, she will actually be talking, and then out of nowhere, her Echo will start talking, and it's just looking around like, well, who asked for you? Who hit your buzzer? Like, well, what's going on? It got to a point where she just unplugged it. It was literally like that weird. So it's
Yeah,
like
it's
I think that is dog whistles. I think that the United States in particular is really good at scaring the hell out of the American people every time something new comes across that they're not getting a direct handout in. If they're not getting no money off of it, if they don't have any bottom line in it, they're gonna demonize the hell out of it. They did it with the aliens who ain't worried about their asses. They're trying to do it to China because they're trying their best to make sure that they're able to have control. And it's like I know I say this a lot or whatever, where it's like I feel like the American people are kind of spoiled. And it's like we tend to look at other countries and be like, oh, they're so much better than us, not realizing that they have their own sets of issues as well. But I also think that we are very naive. It's like
mm,
we are very naive when it comes to our government, and a lot of us actually blindly follow without asking questions, and so it's very easy to work us up into a frenzy. It's very easy to get us on a level of fear on everything that they don't co-sign, not realizing that the government may not necessarily be trying to move in your best interest.
mm,
And that's
mm,
that's that's where I have a problem with just the general population, where I'm like, I think we all have an idea, working knowledge at this point, that the government does this. So why is there so many willfully obtuse people out here that are willing to sit back and let things, continue the way that they are? This is why I think the inflation is still going on. We can't get rid of that because not enough people are making a argument about it, because there's too many people that are afraid to speak up and challenge the government. And it's weird. Like, this isn't, China, where they really can't challenge their government, lest they end up in jail, prison, or worse. This is the United States, where we actually do have a voice. We actually do have the ability to come together and really make some shit shake. But there's so many of us that are terrified to do it. It's just, I have a lot of rants about the country, but I'm just gonna not. But I do overall love America. Don't get it twisted. I do love living here. I love that I was born here. And outside of maybe Ireland, I don't see anywhere else I would rather be. So, but I do have my questions about the way that they're moving and why they're trying to shut off every opportunity that we have to be able to get cost effective, products, knowing that inflation is high and there's so many people in this country that's suffering.
Good point. Good points. Good points. Maurice, what are your thoughts about the national security concerns? You think that these are legitimate concerns, or you think it's just our government trying to give Timu a hard time?
I would say, honestly, I would say a little bit of both. Regardless of the countries involved, I think that at all times you should always be concerned about the national security of your country, especially when it comes to your citizens buying and selling merchandise from another country. I think that's always a concern. That doesn't necessarily mean that that is the goal, or it's actually going to happen. But I think that it's always in the back of someone's mind. And then, of course, the government is going to give them a hard time because guess what? You know how the government is. You know, you got lobbyists, and then
Yep.
you have public interest or private interest that you want to keep hold of. And Timu, if Timu comes in and starts taking over, um, trust and believe that uh, big corporations like Walmart and Amazon, they're going to push back on government or their particular representatives that they deal with or that they funded their campaigns to push back on Timu. So I think it's a little bit of both. Um,
That's a good point.
yeah,
That's a good point.
I,
Yeah, if there's
I really,
competition,
yeah, for sure. For sure.
yeah.
You got to think the big
Technically,
dogs definitely gonna say something about Chinese company moving in on their profit. So it's definitely gonna be an issue. So I mean, I can see it happening both ways for sure.
Amazon is already fighting back, which is why you're starting to see the whole national security bullshit coming up. I don't think that anybody is really caring about national security because, again, a lot of the stuff that they're complaining about when it comes to China, the government is already doing to us. They're already listening to us. They're already monitoring everything we do. They're already looking at all of our messages, which is how they're able to pick up on people that may be saying, things in messages and chats and everything that might be a national security risk. And you might, have the government knocking on your door. It's like they're already monitoring the hell out of us, but they have done a good job at keeping it hidden from the people, or they've keeping it so low key that most people don't want to ask questions. So it's like I don't think they care about the security aspect because they already have that under control. The main purpose of them having a problem with Timu and any other TikTok and any other, just apps like that is the fact that they don't have a direct hand in the cookie jar. They're
Mm.
not able to get anything out of it. So it's like, oh, let me activate my people and get them scared and get them talking about national security as if we give a fuck about that. And let's see if we can get them up through, basically. That's what that is. That's all that is, because the government does not care about your national security. I promise you. They use that as a dog whistle to try and galvanize the people so that y'all can start regurgitating this national security bullshit trope so that they can actually accomplish what they're trying to accomplish, because it's better when they have more people on their side than trying to fight against them. And I think China is actually in a position of, no, I'm trying to get your people to see what y'all are doing.
Good point.
So
Good point.
it's a tug of war. It's a tug of war between our government and the China government.
Maurice, I want to ask you a good question. As someone who's frequently shopped on Temu, what are the taxes like? Are there taxes? Do you pay taxes when you purchase a certain amount of products? Are the taxes cheaper or lower than normal? What are they like?
To be honest, it's been a while since I purchased something on there, so I don't want to tell anybody any lies. Um I don't remember the taxes being that much because it was only like a 40 some dollar purchase, so
Right.
amount is negligible, honestly. So it wasn't anything that was like out of the ordinary, or it wasn't any higher or lower or anything, or I didn't pay any taxes. I definitely paid taxes, but it wasn't
Right.
it wasn't anything that was like out of that made me feel like something's wrong here or there's gonna be any issues.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
What
So
I'm
you didn't
gonna
feel
do is
like
I'm actually in Temu right now. What I'm gonna do is I am going to clear my cart. I'm gonna add one product to it, and I am gonna see what the taxes is. Let's see. All right, so the item that I put in my cart was a wireless earphones with mirror digital display, hi-fi sound quality, high power, emergency charging function for in-ear wireless earphones. The item total is $10.47. I am going to check out. I have to actually fill everything out. They said add $8.53 more to get some sort of gift, and they really are gift heavy over here. But I'll let you guys know what it is once I get to the end.
Oh
gotcha.
yeah, that's how they got me. That's how I ended up getting 12 and 13 things instead of one or two things that I thought I was gonna buy. 'Cause they do get heavy on the gifts, like, oh, add X amount of items worth this much to knock this amount off your price, and it's like, yo, well, why would
Okay.
I do that?
Don't tip me to spend more.
Right? Don't threaten me with a good time, of course.
I'm gonna tell you what though, their address when you enter your address onto the system, it automatically comes up with your correct address. I actually really like that because that shows that they're actually using a system that is from the United States to be able to pull at. Because every address that I actually just saw came from my city. I really like that. That means that they are definitely working with like the U.S. Postal Service.
Mm.
So I like that. So it's no chance that they'll, put something crazy on the outside of your package and it won't get to you. And
Mm.
let's see. All right, taxes, free shipping, sales tax, 63 cent, order total $11.10
Okay.
from $10.47 for the item, which is extremely cheap.
Right, because
That's like
ten
not that's
dollars.
dirt cheap.
Right,
Yeah, exactly.
spending
Like I
$10 is something you would think it's about like a dollar 50 for taxes.
Yeah, that's why
You
I
know.
say nothing. It wasn't really anything you know what I'm saying? Nothing that was really like out of the ordinary that made me feel any different about my purchase. It was, just regular simple tax.
But you know what's
Interesting.
wild? There's been plenty of times where I've made purchases from US companies, and let's say the product is about five. I know there was like some beeswax like lip balm, and it's like it was in a cute little, you know, honey jar container with the little cute little wand to go with it and whatnot. It was really tiny, and it was only like $5, right? And so by the time you added it to cart and tried to check out, shipping was $20, taxes was $10, and so by the time you actually checked out, you were paying like $40 just about for a little thing of like lip balm.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's like I guarantee you, if I find that same product on Temu and checkout, it's probably about to be the same as what I'm talking about here. So it'll probably be if it was $5, it will probably be about $5.63. So it's like that's what I'm talking about. So then it's like you have to wonder where did the other 35, plus dollars, where's that going?
Exactly. Exactly. That's crazy. While you looking that up, I want to go over some of the other things because our American government definitely had. It's called the U.S. China Economic and Security Review Commission, and they basically listed a few other things as well. National security definitely came up, but also, uh, like mentioned, data privacy concerns. They said Timu has been criticized for invasive data collection practices. I don't necessarily know about that. I mean, I'm not sure how you guys feel about that, whether they're invasive or not. Now, Erica did mention that when they pulled up the address, they pulled up the correct address. So I'm not sure what strategies they're using, but I don't think that's invasive. I mean, she wants to make sure the product comes directly to her and her location and mailed to the right person. I don't necessarily see that as invasive. Maybe they have some other examples. Another big concern, especially with products made from China, is forced labor. We know about Chinese factories that use Uyghurs in the Xinjiang region. Uyghurs are, the natural, people of the land. They live out the land, and they've been kind of forced into society, and so we know that they were used to help rebuild China's cotton industry. And so forced labor is definitely something the U.S. frowns upon. So, I know when they found out that the Uyghurs are being used to revitalize China's cotton economy, they stopped all imports of Chinese, made clothing and things like that. But so I know that's a concern, but I think that that's something that like the American people need to be properly explained to. I understand from our perspective, it's kind of like something that we don't necessarily, at this time, we don't necessarily have something like that on our end. That's not something that we see here in the States is, forced labor, uh, products made by forced labor. So I think that it's a different perspective. You know, buying those products, but it's definitely a topic of discussion, and for our government, it's definitely one of those red flags for them that they're like, no, 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 we don't tolerate that. Other
Oh,
things are, I'm sorry, good.
I'm sorry, I'm trying not to, but it's bullshit. It's such bullshit. I'm sorry. Oh, are we not on iPhones? I know
Uh,
Maurice is on the iPhone. You're probably on an iPad. Apple Apple is a company that is based within the United States. What is it? Cupertino, California, to be exact, I think. Where do they get their phones and devices from? When you purchase it directly from Apple, where is it coming from? Lantau.
China.
It's yeah, it's coming from Lantau. Lantau Island, I think it is. Um, so where does China actually get their products created from? Sweatshops, right? They're the ones who's actually having these issues with the forced labor and everything. The products that the United States have that we use every damn day is coming from those sweatshops. So to say that we don't condone this, that, and the other, and X, Y, and Z is bullshit because everything that we actually have is coming from China, and they're the ones who's doing the forced labor, and we're perfectly okay with it. The government's okay with it when they're getting a kickback. Now they're talking about Temu and that they're getting their stuff from sweatshops and whatnot, but I bet Apple wasn't on that list. I bet Apple's name
hey,
wasn't on that list of problems. Why? Because they're getting money from it. So, like I
eh,
said, everything that's not a separate conversation. That is the same conversation. The government is full of shit sometimes. And this is why I say I don't care. It has nothing to do with national security. It has nothing to do with kids in sweatshops. It has nothing to do with any of that shit because we're perfectly okay with that stuff as long as it's benefiting our bottom line in our pockets. But as soon as somebody's able to get the American people something that they actually typically wouldn't be able to get from us, so we're able to get it from China for cheaper, now it's a problem because they're not giving them a kickback. Full of shit. Full of shit. I just had to say that.
and I think the last thing
I was
which
sitting
kind
here
of does,
antsy in my seat. I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to interrupt. I'm not going to interrupt, but it's bullshit.
but you bring up a good point because it also addresses the last concern, trade concerns. They say at this commission that Timu takes advantage of a loophole in U.S. trade law that allows them to import goods without paying any types of duties or taxes if the value of the shipment is less than $800.
Okay,
So,
like I said, it's the bottom line. It's the
yeah.
bottom line because they're not getting any money from because Teva was smart and knows how to get us products without charging us a gargantuan amount of money. Now it's a problem. They don't like that because it's eventually going to cause the inflation, which they're having a field day collecting all the money from the American people on. They're eventually they're going to have to start deflating their stuff. Like
Yeah.
that, Timu, TikTok, and all of these other China-based, businesses that they have coming through here is eventually going to force the states to have to start lowering their prices again to get competitive. And they don't
Right,
want to do that
right,
because they're having too much fun collecting a lot of money from the American people while sitting back, sending all this money overseas to where Palestine or wherever the fuck, and doing all of this weird shit with the money and making sure that the American people don't have what we need. It's always
right.
been said that there's no such thing as world hunger. We have enough food. It's just there's too many governments out here that's too freaking greedy to actually help everybody. So now I'm looking at Timu, and I'm in the checkout, and the one thing that jumped out at me that I missed the first time, Timu's tree planting commitment. Timu has planted trees all over the world and has been awarded a Trees for the Future certification. Plant with Timu. We invite you to plant a tree for 25 cents. So if you add an extra 25 cents onto this order, that will actually help aid in them continuing to plant trees, which is actually to the benefit of everybody, not just China. So it's like they're actually taking this money and they're doing good with it. They're trying to actually help. And you have people like the United States who's trying to be greedy and capitalistic and try and drag all of the money to them so that they can what, just sit here and roll in the dough. They're not doing anything positive with it. They're funding wars that we don't need to have our noses in the middle of. This is what is this, the second war that we done jumped in that had nothing to do with us?
Yeah,
So that's what they're doing with our money that they could actually be using to improve the country, improve housing, improve the, finances. Maybe not so many people would be homeless if everything wasn't so exorbitantly priced. Maybe, just maybe, if everything was a little bit more affordable, people wouldn't be on the street. Because there, make no mistake about it, there's plenty of people that live in California right now that have decent jobs that's making a good grip of money, but they are sleeping under fucking bridges because they can't afford their housing in California. I've heard
that's
I've
right.
heard plenty of stories about that. So it's like,
Yeah.
why is everything so expensive? Why are we still worried about other countries and what they're doing? Like, you're not worried about sending all this money overseas to fight a war that we have nothing to do with, but you have a problem with Timu selling me some lip balm for what, $2.64. I found that same lip balm that I was talking about, by the way, $2.24 on this website. I added that to cart with the other item. The price total went up to $13.47. Sale tax was 76 cents, and it's still free shipping.
Mm,
So that price didn't move up at all, basically.
mm.
So that's what they
Crazy.
really mad about. That's what they're mad about. And they're
Yeah.
actually terrified that the American people are going to get wise overall. I think a lot of us are starting to pick up on it, but not enough of us are opening our eyes to it. But they're
Yeah.
afraid of the day that we're going to be able to open the eyes of everybody else who's been kind of asleep on what's going on. Because that's when the revolt will happen. I do believe there will be eventually another war in this country. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be the American people versus the government.
Interesting. Interesting. I will say for the record, as now Timu has officially denied all of these allegations, and they say that they're committed to protecting user data, and they don't source products from factories that use forced labor. They also take intellectual property rights very seriously, and they're working with strategies to prevent, the sale of counterfeit items in their marketplace. So, Timu's definitely saying, yeah, we don't do any of these things, and in fact, the things that you're saying we are doing, we're working actively to prevent.
I
So,
believe them. I believe them because our data is actually not safe with our government. How many times have we seen these data breaches? And you get those notifications when you go to a certain website, so whatever, and it's United States based, and they tell us we got to change our password because it was actually breached in a leak.
you
How
you
many times?
remember? Yeah, I remember the Target hack. Folks are swiping their cards up at Target, and boom! Now all of a sudden, Target hacked, and everybody who swiped their card now has to go back to their bank and say, "Look, I need that closed. I need my money back."
Look, but it's not even just that. Like, what about the those what is it? You know how you got those I think it's like three organizations that deal with our credit, the credit bureaus. Didn't What if the credit bureaus also have a breach?
Yeah, I think it was Experian.
So it's like, how is our data any safer? It's like that they. Here's the thing. They are drawing on our ignorance because when people actually sign up for things, we never read the fine print. We just sign
Yeah.
and be like, you know what? Let's just get it over with. That's a lot. It is what it is. It's probably nothing that big of a deal. None of us read that shit. The thing is, if we were actually to read, we would actually find that Timu is probably the safer route to go than our own government. But they are banking off the fact that nobody knows what they're really doing with our data because we don't read anything. And so they're using that blind ignorance to be like, look, we're trying to protect you. We're your government. You belong to us. Here comes these people. Here comes China. You know how they are. They're coming around trying to steal all your data and all this, that, and the other, when it's probably very far from the truth. But they are playing on the fact that we are ignorant. One of these days, we should get up here and read through one of those contracts before,
Mm.
the whole like before you sign thing, and actually see what's up in there and see how safe and protected we really are while we're sitting here accusing somebody else.
That should be interesting. Any comments, Maurice, on the concerns?
Nah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. I'm not messing with that.
All right. I think the last point I'll bring up, and Maurice has kind of brought this up, and I think it's a very valid argument. Is the real issue with Timu outside of the regular everyday consumer having questions? I think the real issue with Timu that is getting our government involved, and also the companies involved into the political aspects of it, is Timu is battling for market share. And with the trajectory that they're going in this online retail space, as they continue to add products, and if their pricing stays very, very competitive, it'll end up being the one-stop shop for people who want to shop online. And that's coming directly at Amazon. Amazon, who
Don't forget
currently,
Walmart. Don't forget Walmart too, because
Walmart too, Walmart
Walmart,
too.
Walmart, and low key, Walmart and Amazon been going at each other for the last 2 years on market share.
That's
And
true.
Temu kind of snuck in that little crack while they was fighting each other, and look where it's at now. That's the
Look,
crazy part.
they can sit there and be upset all they want. At the end of the day, they should not be raising their prices the way that they are, because Walmart is also a problem. Because remember when Walmart used to be the real one-stop shop, because
Yep.
everything was dirt cheap, and now they done got cocky, and they done raised their shit up like, oh, everybody else is raising their shit up, not realizing that the reason why they were able to get to the power that they are now is because they were undercutting everybody's pricing. They are now trying to be competitive, like they're a little too competitive at this point, and everything is expensive for no reason. So it's like, at the end of the day, when you actually get into corporations like that and you begin to get money, it's like, it's almost like the reason why you started your company, the reason why you started offering things at such a low price begins to get lost, and they begin to start acting like they want to be like these other companies, and that's where you begin to lose your people. There's plenty of people that used to be just absolutely love Walmart who are now saying it's too expensive. I might as well go to Target. It's
I
a little bit
mean,
more classy anyway.
I mean,
They're
even
starting to rival Target. Target used to be like, we used to call it Target. They were
right.
bougie. They bougie. They're bougie prices, bougie products. But I like Target though. But it's like they were very bougie. It's like Walmart was for the man's man. It was for the working man. It was for the coal miners. It was for the retail workers. It was for those of us who ain't got shit. We go to Walmart. We go to Walmart to get our stuff because we know we're going to be able to get everything that we need, plus whatever it is that we pick up and throw in the cart, because they're always advertising to us when we go up and down the aisles. But it's like, we can't do that anymore because Walmart has gotten expensive. And so now here comes Temu, who's just like, hey, listen, I work with PayPal, I work with Visa, I work with MasterCard, I work with American Express, I work with Discover, I work with Maestro, I work with Diners Club. Who the hell still uses Diner Club, son? Nobody uses that anymore. Nobody uses Diners Club, but here they come with Diners Club again. They done made them a thing again. Here they come with JCB. They got Apple Pay. They got Afterpay. They have Klarna. They have Google Pay. They got Cash App. It looks like, I think that's the Cash App symbol. And they have Affirm. They have all of these delightful checkout services that we all use every day. And they're like, I'm able to partner with all of these people. The only people that got a problem is your government. And that's because we're undercutting the bottom line. No, because if
Dang.
everybody else had the same problem, not this many people would be actually teaming up with them.
You spoke a bar there. You definitely spoke a bar.
Because who's still using Diners Club? I'm like, what you doing here?
Yeah, that's a whole bar. That's a whole bar. But yeah, I think I remember when great value products used to be on par with, the name brand products. Like, and now it's like they're kind of like a step down, and the pricing isn't that different. Like, they're very close. And it's like, yeah, Walmart has gotten a little cocky, I would say. They just kind of made their
They got
money.
they got high Diddy. You know who's actually taking their spot in the great value products? Kroger.
Kroger.
Kroger
Yeah.
brand is starting to take over. Kroger brand is very competitive. You see, when you can get Velveeta for $9, but you get the Kroger nice and cheesy for $5.99, they're coming behind you, and their products are better. They're coming
Listen,
behind these corporations. Their products are better, and their pricing is extremely nice.
pricing
So
pricing is
Kroger is
way
starting to
better.
be that girl when it comes to
I,
food. And it's
I,
like at the end of the day, Kroger also has other products. They don't just have food. They have incense. I got my incense holder from them. I've purchased incense from them. I've purchased candles. I've purchased so many things that you typically could get from Walmart at Kroger. And I have a feeling that Kroger is going to get ready to expand. I have a feeling they're getting ready to
they
expand their
should.
products. They might
They
end up, you
should.
might be able
Listen,
to get your old Kroger brand tire. You better watch out.
listen. I bought some cereal today from Kroger, and let me tell you, like, cereal, like a box of cereal, $4, 4.99 is a rarity these days, because you go everywhere else, you're looking at like $9, $10 for a box of cereal, and it's like, yo, like,
The
why is cereal so
inflation
damn high?
the inflation is why, that's what I keep saying. It's like people are trying to figure out how to undercut the inflation is get $10 for a box of cereal is wild. Could you imagine if you had a house full of kids and
I
you were
I
trying to buy
remember with
cereal?
I remember where a box of cereal was $2.
Yes. I remember when the bag of cereal used to be cheaper. I think the bag of cereal used to be like $1.99, and it
$1.99.
was like 16, it was like
Facts.
16 ounces or something. And that's what we used to
Facts.
get because we were broke. And it's like that was the cheapest, but it's like we thought that the Buck cereal was expensive, but the Buck cereal was like $2.99, $3. But it's a lot when you have like five kids in the house and you're trying to make sure that everybody gets enough cereal and everybody's gonna eat more than one bowl. So it's like you started kind of getting a cheaper bag, but now it's $10. Imagine you buy 3 or 4 boxes of cereal. You done spent $40 on breakfast, and it's not gonna last that long.
And that's no milk. That's without
No
milk. You
milk.
gotta get the milk.
Look, milk is expensive as hell now, but if you go to Kroger, I got like a half a gallon for $1.99.
I got a
So,
gallon for $2. Like,
see? It's like, where do you see that at anymore? Kroger is starting to, you know, figure some things out to get around. Look, eggs. Eggs was like, they talking about some 12, $18 eggs or whatever they were talking about before, chow.
yep,
I got my
yep.
18 count eggs from Kroger for $1.99. And there's nothing wrong with it because I know there's people out here saying, oh, well, the reason why y'all are getting cheap eggs is because they're not real eggs. No, they're actually real eggs. Like it, and that's the American people for you. We have conspiracy theories about everything when it comes to things being cost effective, but when those cost effective items go away, we're complaining about inflation. But if they
Yeah.
decide to move the prices back down, then now you're saying that it's not real. It's like we got to get ourselves together as a people. Overall,
Absolutely.
just the American people, period, we need to get ourselves together. We have conspiracy theories about everything but what we really need to be talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. I think though, like if we're really gonna look at this battle between Timu and Amazon, I think here's ways where they're like competing, and like if you want to see who has the upper hand, like long term, I think you could see like a clear winner. So there's like four key ways. Number one is price. Number two is the selection. Number three is shipping, and number four is customer service. Price right now, Timu is got the ultra low pricing right now, which is very low compared to what Amazon has. But Amazon has a bigger selection of products, and they also have a better brand reputation, even with some Amazon brand stuff. Uh, Amazon's focus was on making their own Amazon brand stuff instead of making the marketplace, you know, long term prepared to handle any competition that comes. And this is where Timu is going to have to rise, because as Timu continues to grow, they're going to have their brand recognition. You know what I'm saying? And so this is something that, as long as their prices stay low and competitive, that's not going to be a problem. And the same thing with the selection amount. Amazon's, we all know about their massive warehouses because they have massive selections of products. While Timu's is a little limited, they're still adding new products. They're still at the perfect stage of finding what your consumers actually like and continuing to give them that option. So if they're consistently buying clothing, provide them much more clothing opportunities, much more clothing selection. If they're consistently buying kitchen equipment, consistently provide them options for kitchen equipment from different, manufacturers. And I think Temu's at a wonderful state because they're not like Amazon, where they have so much merchandise that some of it doesn't move, some of it doesn't sell. You guys know what happens when you return a product like to Amazon, they don't put it back on the shelves. They discard it. And people purchase those pallets of discarded product. I'm sorry, go ahead, Maurice.
No, I'm saying they auction kind of stuff themselves.
You broke up. Say it again.
No, I was saying some of the Amazon product that gets returned, they end up auctioning it off to resellers who end up reselling it
Yeah.
themselves.
Yeah. For liquidation. Absolutely. Yeah. They don't put that stuff back on the shelf because they have so much of it. It's like they can't keep it. So they got to make some type of profit off of it. You know what I'm saying? So Timu's at the place, I feel, where they don't need to hoard massive amounts of products. They really just need to listen to their customer base, where they
And
buying lots amounts of.
that's where their data collection is coming from, though. It's like
That too. Hmm.
we don't talk about data collection much in this country because it's just something that we don't really talk about. And so by us not talking about it, we don't understand it, which is again another way that it could be weaponized against Timu when it comes to the American people because they're always collecting our data. They just don't talk
Right.
to us about it. And so it's like now here's somebody who's just like, oh, look, they're collecting y'all's data. You see? What are they doing with the data? They're doing the same thing America is doing, which is we're trying to figure out what exactly are people looking for so that they can make sure that they stock more of that thing. And
Right.
so it's like that's what it's for. It's not anything nefarious like they're trying to take over, the world and whatnot and peeky in the brain type shit. They're literally just trying to figure out what to order, what to stock, what they maybe need to not stock, too much of, so that they could get us the products that we're looking for at the competitive price that we need it at. That's
Yeah,
literally what it's for.
I think it's that's a beautiful position to be in because one, you waste, and Walmart has done this too. You waste less space and money on products that don't move, especially when you're a new marketplace. If you listen to your consumer base, you're now able to provide them more of what they want, and the things that they're not buying up as much, you can fall back on. You can say, okay, we don't need so much of this, but we need a whole bunch of this. So we'll take everybody and anybody, as long as they go through the vetting process of quality control, that's willing to manufacture this type of product because all of our customer base is looking for this type of product. And I think it's a wonderful thing. The more they continue to add to their selection of merchandise, I think they're going to be very dangerous. But when they start adding stuff that we use on a regular basis, and it's like, okay, look, I need new this, I need new this, just moved, I need X, Y, and Z, or housewarming gifts and things like that. Once they start going into like that lane where it's like everyday stuff, they're going to be a problem.
They
Another
already
point,
have baby clothes. I just saw.
yeah.
So I was looking up flat irons. I was looking for the one that I currently have, which is a Babyliss, and I know I paid like 139.99 for it from, I think it was from Sephora or Ulta, one of those. And so I was trying to see if they have it. Lo and behold, they actually do have it, but it just doesn't have a name on it, and that shit is going for 1979. So if I ever get froggy and decide to purchase it to see if it's the same thing and it's the same thing, it is over for a lot of these companies. Cause it's like, why was that 139.99?
Because their babbler's name is brand recognition. That's what that
And they
is.
have some very pretty, very cute baby clothes for very cheap.
Wow.
I'm looking at it now. It's like, I'm looking at the boys' clothes. So cute. Look at this cute jacket and jogging pants suit. Looks like for a little baby, $8.99. Something like this would probably be like $30 at Walmart.
Mm,
And that's just at Walmart. Look at these baby booties. They got 12 pair, non-slip for active boys or whatever, $3.88.
mm.
A whole
And
collection of baby
parents,
shoes, different colors or whatever.
you
It's a whole set for $3.57.
parents, they want to deck their babies out, and you know that especially
Yes.
as kids get older, and they need new clothes, and so
And they grow
that
so quickly. They go
exactly
quick. So it's like you don't want to be spending $50 on one little outfit. It's like when you can take $50 and get like a whole wardrobe.
right, right. Another thing that helps with the competition between Amazon and Temu is shipping concerns. Right now, like Marie said, with Temu, you probably have to wait a week, maybe a week and a half, to get your products. Amazon has much faster shipping times and it's more reliable because a lot of times Amazon's delivering it themselves. I remember a time where Amazon wasn't delivering it themselves, and so it was always third party delivery, and so sometimes your products wouldn't come on time. They've kind of gotten involved in the shipping process and gotten hands on, and so now they're making their shipping times a lot you know more appealing to the end user. But again, because you paid, you know really, I want to say 0.3% less than what the product normally is costing. Uh, Waiting a bit for those products to come, most people won't mind. Especially when shopping from Alibaba, where it takes you like 3 months to get your stuff, and by the time it then got to you, you done forgot about it, and you don't even care
Yeah,
for it.
it's like a gift. It's like a gift in the mail. Like, oh my
You
God, you shouldn't have.
you done bought it, and 3 months later, whole season go by, and you're like, I don't even want this. I don't need it no more. Matter of fact, let me get my money back.
No,
You
but
know what I'm
you
saying?
remember back when Amazon used to be all books and
Yeah,
CDs and tapes?
yeah.
That's where I started purchasing from Amazon. And Amazon absolutely used to take about 7 business days to get to you. and they used to deliver via USPS, which of course we call that snail mail. So it's like they're pretty much Timu is where Amazon used to be before they started, adding
Exactly.
all of these extra benefits, and before their company really grew, and before they started passing all of that down to the consumer through pricing, because that's why their prices are so high. Because we everything that we purchase from them, we are actually paying express shipping on everything. But
Yeah.
it's built into the pricing. It's kind of like if you go to Etsy and you have like a shop that might have like a book, and the book is $10, and then they charge you $5 for shipping, and it's $15 at the end of the line, versus the other shop that might be selling the exact same book but for $15 of free shipping. So it gives the illusion that somebody's doing you a favor, when in actuality they passed those shipping charges down to you anyway, but they put it in a package that was so cute and glitzy and
Hmm.
razzle dazzle that you don't realize that you're still paying for the same shit. So it's like when it comes to Timu, they don't have to do that. They're just telling you what it is. And they're like, it's going to take about 7 days to get to you. So don't be mad. We don't have we're not going to do the extra razzle dazzle shipping, because that's actually going to raise the prices on our website. And you're going to start having a problem with us like you're having with Amazon and Walmart.
Exactly. And like how you saw, you got free shipping as a new consumer. Like that's not something Amazon offers to new customers.
For,
That
for a $2 item, free shipping.
exactly. So yeah, like as a new customer, you get free shipping. I also read somewhere on Temu, like when you purchase orders over like 59, $60, you get free shipping as well. I'm sure they give
And
free
free
shipping
products.
coupons and gifts and like
Hmm.
even though you gotta wait a bit, it's like you're not
It's
paying
worth it.
egregious shipping prices. So yeah, I think that's a wonderful thing. Uh, I will ask Maurice. So Timu doesn't, to my knowledge, doesn't necessarily ship in boxes. I think that one helps with the weight of all the products and whatnot. So they ship in bags and these orange bags. So you kind of know that your stuff is there. But also, no, even though they ship it in a large bag, everything's like properly, wrapped and protected. What was your experience like getting that bag instead of like a brown box?
Um, yeah. Well, you said that. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect because I hadn't shopped there before. So, um, I got like I said, I had like 12, 13 items. I got a big ass orange bag, bro, with everything in it. All of it was together. There was no separate shipping. Everything was in this one big ass bag, and I was looking like,
Oh, I like that.
I
Because
said, ain't no
Wish.com
way.
is notorious for sending little black bags, and it's usually from different sellers. So you purchased everything same day, but then it's like they didn't drop. It's coming from different people, so it's like you're getting all these different little bags or whatever instead of just one big one. So I like that.
Yeah, but Temu they gave me everything in one big ass orange bag. At first I was skeptical because I'm like, ain't no way in hell everything I ordered would be ass bag. It's no way, but I'll be damned if everything was in there individually wrapped and individually packaged separately. It was all there, and I was like, wow, this was amazing. I was not expecting it at all.
Do you think that the packaging process for doing it in a bag compared to like a cardboard box, do you think that kind of helps with the weight of the product, maybe to keep the shipping costs low? Because instead of
Um,
having to put things in a box and have things layered on top of each other. You kind of just have it in a bag, and the weight of the bag is based on the weight of the sum of all products.
um, when it comes to that, I wouldn't say that necessarily you know what I'm saying, it helped with the weight or anything with because as far as I know, Timu goes through the postal service as of right now. I think I got my stuff from the postal service.
Right, right.
So I just got, you know what I'm saying, I got it delivered with the regular mail. The only thing I can really say about that is I think it was better than a big ass box because the way my porch is set up, um, it's highly visible from the street and the sidewalk. Even though my porch is like considerably far back from the sidewalk, but it is very visible from the sidewalk. Now with it being in a bag, it's a little bit more pliable, so I can leave instructions for the postal carrier to, hey, can you put this inside of my screen door? You know, that way nobody can see it if I'm not home to grab it myself. And
Hmm.
it will fit the size of that particular package. If it would have fit inside the door, no problem.
Wow.
So versus like I don't want to like talk bad about Amazon, but versus Amazon sending it in the big ass box or a few boxes, and it's not it since they're boxes, they're not as pliable as a bag, so it would stick out like a sore thumb that there's
Hmm.
packages on that porch.
Mm. Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
in that respect, I think that it helps because it can help conceal the package a lot more than the few boxes or one big ass box. So
Yeah, and especially with the rise of people reporting that the packages are getting
yeah, package
stolen and
theft is a real thing. I've had it happen to me before. I've had it happen. I've had packages stolen right off my front porch before. So usually I leave instructions for the mail carrier or the Amazon driver or whoever is delivering anything to my house. Hey, put it inside the screen door or text me when you get there, because I can always be what I'm saying, within my house within 5 to 10 minutes.
gotcha.
Um, but with like I said, with Temu, it was a very pliable bag with all my items, and it was easy. It was easily to conceal inside of my screen door. That way, I would be less likely to deal with somebody trying to steal because they wouldn't necessarily see it walking down the street or walking up the street.
Right, and it wasn't like you had a giant, big old Timu bag,
Yeah,
like
because
like
there's
you.
been times I've come home and my package wasn't there, or it's just a big ass box sitting on my porch, and I can see it when I'm pulling or I'm driving down the street. So I know if I can see it when I'm driving down the street, I know everybody else can see it when what I'm saying, when they're coming, what I'm saying, up and down the street.
Right.
Or I've had, or luckily I've had neighbors or something say, hey, you had a big ass box on your front porch, so I grabbed it and here it is. Like they took it and held on to it so nobody stole it. Things like that. Because yeah, I've actually had packages stolen off out of here before, and it was um actually not too long ago. I think last year I purchased a cast iron skillet for my lady because that's what she wanted, and they delivered it, but somebody stole it because the
Damn.
Amazon driver decided to just throw the damn thing right there on the step on the porch, and it's like, yo, that's like highly visible. Like, come on, bro,
Right.
got to do better than that. But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
See, but this is the good thing that I love about Amazon because I do shop at Amazon. You can actually contact their customer service, have them patch you over to logistics, put a note in the system, a permanent note, to contact you, call you, literally call you every time they pull up, so that you're able to either intercept the package without them leaving it out there, or
yep,
you could give them instructions on where to leave it. Because every single time they come here, I always get a quick call like, hey, I'm pulling on the street, or hey, I'm outside, come get your
yep,
package.
yep, and
Like, I
yep,
don't have any more problems with that because they used to just leave it on a on the sidewalk, which is where my building is. It's like when you open the front door, it's the sidewalk. So they used to just throw like my whole building's like boxes out there, and it's like you're lucky if you get to it fast enough. And so, due to me actually being annoyed one day and I decided to do that, they now call everybody in the building like, hey, apartment 1, 3, and 4, basically they'll place a separate call to those people and let them know that their shit is here.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And
Thanks to Erica complaining and bitching one day.
yeah, to add to that, yeah, you got a point. Because after I had that situation, I dealt with Amazon customer service, and it was pleasant experience. Everything was rectified within a matter of minutes, and my package was reshipped within the next couple of days. So I have no complaints about that whole process. It was an inconvenience that it happened, but in the same breath, it's like their customer service was so top tier to get everything situated and squared away that I didn't have to deal with anything or have to worry about having to repay or wait
Right.
X amount of weeks or them giving me a hard time saying I'm lying about it. I didn't have to deal with none of that. They reissued it out, had it in a couple of days, and from that point on, there's a note in the system like, hey, if possible, place the packages out of street view. Hide it here or hide it there, or place it in the screen door. So I will say that their customer service is top tier. They've always taken care of anything if I've had any issues with the Amazon delivery. So
So that's something that speaks to my last point about this back and forth battle between Amazon and Temu. Is you're right. Amazon has excellent customer service. Temu is still new, and so of course, as Temu customers, and they continue to build their brand and develop their brand, there are things they're going to have to deal with, and they're going to have certain protocols and measures in play to prevent certain things from happening, or at least a way to address them. And so I think that doesn't necessarily mean that because Timu doesn't have Amazon's type of customer service that they're not a good company. It just means that they're still new, and so they have to kind of build that customer service background. Most, I will add this, most Chinese-based businesses don't have good customer service naturally, especially in other countries. Now, China, it could be different, but when you're talking like Alibaba, if you don't get your package and it ain't come delivered, like one, just to get to somebody is going to be hard, and then when you get to somebody, they don't even speak good English. They have a thick accent and everything, and so hopefully with Timu being headquartered in Boston, Massachusetts, here in the States, I think that's an opportunity for them to course correct and definitely get their customer service up on par. And I think with the customer service changes and the improvements within shipping, I think, and of course with their growing selection, I think Timu definitely brings fair competition to Amazon. While Amazon is more established and more well-rounded online retailer, Temu still has innovation on their side, and so I think that this battle between these two companies is going to be heating up for the coming years. We'll see back and forth between those two, and I think it'll be interesting to watch. But for us customers, we win. We win when there's competition in the marketplace because that
Mhm.
means we get the better deal. At the end of the day, it benefits us that they compete. When there's no competition, then whoever's running it can raise their prices and create standards based on them being the sole provider. But now that they have competition, it should be good. You may see Amazon start to bite off of certain things that Timu has done from the ground up, such as random gifts and things like that. Amazon, the only thing they trying to offer you is 3 months of Amazon Music. Like, so, I think or a couple of weeks for Audible service. So I think this is the opportunity for both companies to continue to battle this out, and it's an opportunity for us to benefit. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty much the battle there. Um, any last words? Any closing words? We're coming up on quarter to the 2 hour mark. Any last words? Any last comments? You guys?
Yes. Well, as far as Temu and their customer service, I've heard that they have excellent customer service. There's been a few people that didn't get certain products or whatever, and they were able to contact customer service, and they said that the people were extremely nice, and they were able to get refunded. In some cases, they were given coupons so that they could get a percentage off. So it looks like they may already be working on their customer service.
Hmm.
But overall, I can't wait to place my first order at Temu. I want to experience this awesomeness. And the only thing that Temu don't have that Amazon may have is the fact that you can actually, if you live near a hub, they can actually put your stuff in a locker if you're not going to be home.
Yeah.
There's a locker literally like zero point 0.3 miles up from my street over at 7-Eleven, where it's like they have the lockers outside. And if I don't want my packages delivered here for whatever reason, I could always ask them to put it in a locker, and they'll keep it in the locker for I think about 7 business days before
Yep.
they, pull it back out and send it back to the, thing. There's also been, because we have a company that's, or we have a warehouse that's like extremely close. There's been times where I didn't get certain items or something may have been stolen back in the day, and they will reship it and not have it by the next day. And one time I actually got it same day because I caught it so early. They were able to ship it from the warehouse that was actually like a city over, and a driver was able to get it to me by the end of the night.
Mm.
So it's like that's a gnarly service. I'm not gonna ever take a stab at Amazon in regards to that. It's just that the reason why it's a gnarly service is because they're passing the price of it to us through the inflated prices. That's the only complaint I have.
Yeah. Yeah. I think with the pricing being as low as it is, it's going to motivate Amazon to start having like events, because Amazon, if you guys remember, even when they were just selling books, they would have like these little like events where you like spin the wheel and you get this type of deal on books and things like that. I think there's an opportunity for them to give the consumers something back for being a consumer, especially now with Amazon Prime memberships. I think that's an opportunity to give us something for being loyal customers. You guys are we're paying $13 a month for Prime. Like, give us something more. And I think having those seasonal, maybe those seasonal free gifts, those seasonal, you know, coupons and things like that would be great. I think that's a great way to continue to compete. And then, of course, continue having sales, have sales on products that, maybe you have a large amount of washing, products, and then have a sales on those products. And that way people who are looking to, restock or whatever can restock at a cheaper price. So this forces Amazon to its chest, and it forces Amazon to now make their move as Temu continues to get better and innovate. Now Amazon, the ball's in their court, and we'll see how they respond. Are they going to wait it out and complain to the government and hope they get involved, or are they actually going to compete? So we'll see. Maurice, you got any last words, any closing words before we get up out of here?
No, I think we pretty much got everything summed up. Um, I'm I'm um I'm okay with my experience that I've had with Timo. I'm glad that we did this to kind of open up other people's eyes to let them know, yay or nay, if there's something that they want to get into. Also, I'm glad that we highlighted the competition aspect of this and how that does help the consumer when there's competition on the market. That definitely helps us out tremendously, especially with all these inflated prices that's going on right now with the after COVID thing going on. So, I think we pretty much kind of plucked everything, and I'm just appreciative to anybody who listens and tunes into the show, and like to thank y'all too for coming on and doing this with us.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Um, have you seen anything recently that you're interested in, or Timu that you may be purchasing soon?
Yeah, that's why I try to stay off the app as much as possible because dude, I go on there, I will spend a whole check on there, bro. It's a lot. And now that I know it's legit and I bought stuff off of there, man. It's like it's that same feeling I had for Amazon back in the day. Like when you understood
Right.
what Amazon was and what they had, you just were like ordering something from Amazon like every day. I like want to do that with Team, but I'm like, I'm a little bit older now. I'm a little bit wiser, so I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Let me slow down. I don't want to have a house full of stuff that I'm not using just because it was cheap.
Hey, it's people who done that. It's people who they watch them shows on TV, and next thing you know, they got boxes everywhere. So you know,
Exactly. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be that guy.
after hey, sometimes you like getting gifts. Getting those boxes or those bags is like getting gifts. So Erica, anything you kind of got your eye on that you may be interested in getting from Timu?
I have a few things in the cart. I'm looking at the headbands. They have a lot of cute rhinestone headbands, and I love rhinestones. And the reviews are saying that they actually are like amazing and like sparkly. So I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Mm, all right. Yep. So yeah, thank everybody for tuning in. It's been a good conversation here. I think very enlightening, informative, and it's good to have everybody's feedback on this conversation. I think we can officially say Timu is very real, and from the testimonies of those who have the experience of shopping with Timu, I don't think there's anything fake about it. If you do come across something that maybe appears to be fake or counterfeit, definitely contact customer service and get that handled. But I think right now, just from all the evidence that's been laid out on the table in our discussion today, you could say Timu is very safe. You could say it's very legal, and it's going to be an enjoyable shopping experience. Which, I mean, for those of us in America here that we're dealing with inflation and everything, you want your hard-earned dollars to be worth with the work that you put in. You want to make sure your spending is enjoyable because you put in the work to get your hard-earned dollars. So I definitely think that Timu is definitely on the rise, and I didn't know about TikTok Marketplace. I'm definitely going to be looking into that and seeing what that's about. And keep your head on the swivel, keep your eyes peeled, and let us know in the comments. If you guys have any comments, let us know what you purchased on Timu. If you have any questions, any concerns, definitely put them in the comments. Let us know. All right, guys, we're gonna close it up here. It is, the end of the show here. Uh, we're gonna wrap things up here with the podcast and close it on out. You guys have a good night. And you ain't finna give it to me like that. You're not.